who are dissociative have already been under some form of mind control, even if it's internal, and are at great risk right now. But the most useful part of all mind control and dissociation is that it makes tolerance of the intolerable appear normal. That is what was needed for power to control the citizens of any given nation. When the intolerable and the unspeakable are spoken and recognized and named, identified, they can be properly opposed. When woven into visibility, they no longer lurk in the shadows of the secret dark places, and only then things can become ripe for change. This is that time. Because, of the internet and for as long as we'll have it, for as long as we'll be allowed to have it. To those who are divided by violence, trauma, shock, or awe, for my sake and yours, anybody who is divided at all or has PTSD or any kind of stuff like that, internal conflict, thank God we have. And I say God. Thank God we have marijuana. And a lot of people say, holy ganja, and I'm one of those people because I know that this is a holy thing that can remove mind control. The legal drugs are the ones that keep it in place. So right there, I don't think really, you need to know more than that about how mind control works. I don't think so. That's it in a nutshell. Keeping people unaware of what they're doing helps you respond to panic programming. The mentally divided are being activated at this time because a fugue state and a fugue state enacted. Horrors inflicted with no awareness whatsoever of being present while you do it. Writing down what you feel is the key, an easy key, to unlock the prison doors of mind control. Especially like if you smoke a joint and then write. That is that's two revolutionary acts in a time of complete and utter bullshit, lies. People who are in show business generally are people who, have a great need to be loved and accepted and perform and to get love and positive feedback back from it. That's what drives most artists and stuff. So they're very, very sensitive people, and when sensitive people are like lights for moths and vampires and zombies and perverts. The more creative you are, the more sensitive you are, the more you really, really need to be able to employ some sort of self-protection so that not just always accepting things, because that is part of being a survivor of mind control too, is that you using all of that new age stuff, which is the same crap as the old age stuff. People, it drives me crazy sometimes as people are like, oh, I'm so forgiving and loving, I'm so wonderfully pacifist, loving and forgiving, and everything is wonderful, and we're all, it's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And it's harmful, horrible, negative, murderous bullshit about it. Because it keeps people from getting up off their butts and, joining in the fight. And all that positive thinking stuff is what victims do. Talk about what's real and what's really happening in the darkest, most secret of places. When you talk about it, you're exposing it to light, and it mutates. In my life, I did heal from multiple personality disorder. I'm about as integrated as somebody like me is ever going to get. And that's because I actually am aware of what I'm doing. Almost every minute of the day, I'm aware of what I'm doing. And also, I don't say anything that I don't mean. And also, if I don't believe it's true, I am not going to do it. Because I won't divide against myself like that anymore. I lived a lifetime like that. Saying one thing and doing another. And that's called a fugue state, just in case you want to know. And it's really hard to try to come to a place where you actually live your beliefs. It's so hard, isn't it? Because you're like, well, what part of this is real and what part? I mean, you know, I see a lot of people nodding. I'm happy to think that you know what I'm talking about. And here's what I do. And here's what you should do too. When you approach a panic state, and the reason I'm telling you that is because in order to be free of mind control, here's what that means. That words, magic words or touch words or code words, they don't work on you anymore. And neither do symbols. They don't anymore enact a certain reaction. And it's so funny and so simple because you know what? It's all about breathing. By God, it's all about breathing. Staying rational, staying safe, staying centered, staying calm, and staying in the right mental state, which we all really, really need because we are being assaulted with thoughts and images that are foreign to what we believe. So here's what you do. I devised this breathing for people, and I divide it into 3 parts, and it is based on the number 3, and it is based on the number 10, for anybody who wants to, and all of you should. Read about the number 3 and read about the number 10. Numbers are some incredible magic and symbols. And they're also real. They're not things that you're going to believe against all logic, fact, science, and truth. That's the difference. They're real numbers. They're very mystical and very deep. So here's what I do, and I want you to do it too, because we have to get our breathing to where it doesn't speed up, and then we lose control. So in 3 parts of 10 seconds each, it'd be cool if we could all do it together too. Like we inhale for a count of 10, hold it, contain it in our lungs. As we mentally disperse it through our bodies. And then exhale the 10 too. So what we're doing is taking in, receiving, containing, dispersing, oxygen, which is what our cells most require, and which is so great because it just happens to be free.